Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm going to be an expert at welcoming everybody with all the practicing. I want to welcome everyone who is live streaming with us today and let you know that whoever you are, wherever you are welcome here at Centers for Spiritual Living. Drop a note in the chat, tell us where you're from, and say hi. So we're going to have a great day today talking about faith and uncertainty. And we'll start out with some music to get ourselves prepped up for the positive aspects of facing uncertainty in our lives.
Let's all rise and sing Even Now. Even now I am able, even now I am free. Even now, I can feel the Spirit watching over me. Even now, I can feel the love in everyone I see. Even now, I am free. Here we go. Even now, I am healthy. Even now, I am whole. Even now, Spirit deep down in my soul. Even now I can choose a path of peace and harmony. Even now I am free. Even now I am free. Good morning, everybody.
Say hello. Yes. I'm just taking that over.
All right.
Up for.
My soul is welcome here.
Yeah, my soul is welcome here.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said second song.
That's what we're doing now, and
Please.
then we're doing the kids song.
Oh,
after.
Okay.
Yeah. Or we could just do the kids song now and.
Let's do Our Soul is Welcome here.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. Let's get ready and do it. Our soul is welcome here. Sorry, my soul. Our soul. My soul.
You're the soul.
My soul. Thank you. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. You guys have a good rhythm. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 One more time. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. All right. I'm awake. Are you awake?
Yes. Hooray.
We're ready for our kids.
Yes.
Any other kids to join? Kids at heart?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Hooray for the world. I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world. I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world. It's a special place. Mother and nature and the world's got bullbees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and the sun that shines on. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother and nature and the human race. We got Mother and nature and the human race. Have a good time.
And they're off for fun and adventure. Welcome, everyone, to Center for Spiritual Living, Bellingham. My name is Leo Brody. I'm the practitioner on duty today. And the second practitioner is Rana today. And we're here to serve you if you have any prayer requests or anything. And speaking of prayer requests, there's a basket in the back with slips of paper that you can fill out if you have anything that you feel like you would like to know prayer support for. Fill that out and put it in that beautiful little ceramic jar. And you will get prayed on. Your prayer will be spoken and known and realized by the practitioners here at CSL. And so with that, before we get into the beautiful service, let's just take a moment of prayer to know the truth of who we are, to know that there is one mind, and our own minds are all part of that mind, that one mind. And that mind is what we call God, or God's mind, which means that we all have not only an interconnectedness, but we have the power to create our own truth. And we accept that now. I accept that on behalf of myself and on behalf of everyone in this room who's willing to accept that, knowing that we are all divine and we have that divinity within us. And just like the flower has everything it needs to bloom, and we have everything we need to bloom. And if you'll join me now in saying, and so it is, and so it is.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore into a mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go shore, float into a mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and see. Know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore, float into a mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Lift your sails in faith and trust you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry me. Let go of the shore, float into a mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into a mystery. I know, there's another one coming. I just didn't know if there was another prayer after that. It's been a while since I've been here, you guys. Well, anyway, it's great to see you all. When I heard about the message, I did a meditation, and it was it's a big meditation because this is such a time of change on the planet. Huge. And how to contain all that, how to keep ourselves going through what just could be such a tumultuous moment. But if we stay open to the universe, I am open to the universe. I'm protected by our universe and the big universe. That's a lot of protection, right? And it's real. It's real. I can testify. It is real. So after I came out of the meditation, I just tried to empty my mind a little bit again, and this song came out. Feel free to sing along. I'm going to just tell you the words to the chorus, and maybe you can, gather it as you go along. It is, I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm not dragged by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. So that's how the chorus goes. We're going to start out on the chorus. I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm not dragged by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. Why walk in silence? Our heads held down when healing rays of sunshine are all around. Confronted by our troubles, we miss the truth. The healing power is inside. just set it loose. I am open to the universe. I am engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm not dragged by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. We'll walk together. Why question why? We're part of a process, just like the tide. Regardless of stormy weather, we'll find our way. Walk in the knowing, embrace today. I am open to the universe. I'm engaging with the universe. I am open to the universe and all its gifts. I am open to the universe. I'm not dragged by the universe. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. I am open. I feel the lift. Ooh-hoo. I am open to the universe. I feel the lift. I feel the lift. I feel the lift.
Beautiful. Wow, that came out of a meditation. That's wonderful. Hint to self. Got to meditate more. That was awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you also for our beautiful prayer today. It's wonderful. So this weekend was kind of coming back to self, and I'm not going to be really spiritual right now, and I hope that's okay. So actually, it was spiritual. It was a spiritual move to, we're just finishing construction on our home, and so we're really kind of in that nesting period. So the power tools came out, and we built a cabinet, and we put a beautiful top on it, and then it was the refrigerator, little small, one of those little things you used to use when you were in a dorm, was a little bit too wide. So the power tools came out to start slicing and dicing and making the opening wide enough for the refrigerator. And so why I bring that to mind is that there's all this doubt, right? You're in there, you're like trying to fit your patterned life into how you think it should fit. And all of a sudden, you are confronted with this refrigerator that just has different dimensions than the hole that you want it to fit into. And so that's sort of the message of that I got out of my meditation this morning. So we're in April. Welcome to another month. We're all hoping for some sun, or at least I am. And with that, I really want to kind of carry us back to what we consider the theme of the year, which is our soul's journey, our soul's compass, right? Your soul's compass. And it's all about a journey into identifying ourselves more deeply with the inner workings of our life, the spiritual sense, the essence of who and what we truly are. And we actually, in designing this year, Andrea and I, Dr. Andrea and I, really talked a lot about this part. And April, our topic for our theme for the month of April is when things don't go as planned. And so we built that in there because isn't it true? We get into the beginning of the year and there's a lot of hoopla about it. Psychologically, it's like a new year, new beginnings, new ideas, new possibilities, and all of these things that kind of get us all, pumped up for the year ahead. And then there's this lull kind of part of the journey. So today I'd like to explore that lull in the sense of a plateau rather than it being something that isn't part of the rhythm of life. And the plateau is a great place for us to stand in our lives at the root of who we are, in what the Sanskrits tell us, sitting and standing on holy ground. And in that holy ground space, looking with discerning eyes towards a future that we don't yet know what it will look like, and more importantly, what we will be like as we encounter new opportunities and new challenges even in our lives. So that's sort of the gist of the talk. I think I wanted to bring this question to mind because it's a question that's living me right now. And it's how do I get the things I believe in the most past my intellectual self? And how do I get past my intellectual self and allow a dropping in to the heart center of who I am? And things operate differently in the heart center than they do in the intellect. It's just a fact. I know it from my own life, and I'm pretty certain you all know it too. And yet, there's this sort of challenge inherent in seeking to be more heart-centered. There's a great exposure and a vulnerability that I know scares me. But there's also opportunities to experience each other and to connect with each other on levels that maybe we weren't able to do before. So there's a super positive part of it. And when I'm looking at this belief, I want to kind of bring us through this. And I don't know if you go through this, but I'm going to take a little bit of a risk now. And like for me, I believe there's a power for good in the universe and that I can use it. I've used it. It's brought me great pleasures. It's brought me great knowings of who and what I am to the planetary system. And yet, I still am up in the middle of the night worrying about a future that isn't here yet. I believe there's a divine being, a living spirit, a essence. But I still fear one day being alone and not having like my spouse with me or my children if they grow into, being in another country or something. There's still these sort of attachments to fear, or we're built to experience fear. And I'm not really sure why that is, but I think that our philosophy here can not only confront that, but teach as an application for each of us to learn to be able to be present with what is, and to maybe not be able to change outwardly experiences and conditions to the point of magic, because that's not what we're talking about here, but being able to be in the stillness despite what might be happening in our lives. And another thing that is really on my mind, and maybe it is on yours too, is I believe there's a power for good in the universe, something I can depend on. Yet I still have deep sadness about hearing parents who have lost their children in a shooting. Deep sadness. And sometimes it doesn't come to a question for me, as it used to be, that it would collapse me. It just makes me recognize how important it is to go back to the basics, back to our practice, back to bringing meditation at the forefront, back to bringing prayer at the forefront. And that's why I think it's super important when we when we're in this philosophy is Ernest Holmes was so honest with us. You know, individuals can say, we're a positive thinking theology. And yes, we are. We're a positive thinking theology because we also discern and look at real life and know that behind every conditioned thought and experience is the truth of an everlasting principle. We are all in one unified field of existence. We are all together in that. And if, for me, I think of pain and suffering, I don't think it as a separate thing happening from me. I actually feel that that is our command to come back to center, is to see it and also in it have the faith that can change circumstances. A simple story, and maybe y'all remember this. Remember we didn't wear seatbelts? Right? And that was like, what do you mean we're not going to wear seatbelts? Yeah, do you get in the car and don't put your seatbelt on anymore? See, that's consciousness, right? When we begin to change and look at things differently, sparks one person to do it, sparks another and another and another, and it's this accumulative thing that begins to spark change. And the change in consciousness right now is, I think, blinding because it's so big, and then it also has so many old conditions that we have kind of have as habitual patterns that it's kind of two worlds colliding. And so where we're going today is in that idea of unifying those two worlds rather than seeing them as colliding, seeing them as one path forward for the greatest awakening that's happening on our planet right now. So how do I? That's our question. And we're all going to have this question in a variety of different forms in our lives. From the material, how do I make more money so I can buy that house I want? How do I find that partner who's going to be there for me and we can have a beautiful life together? To the deeper, how do I know that there's a God? How do I know I can have a connection with that thing, that entity, that source, that being, the ground of all being, the Spirit Almighty? It's a question that I think lives through us, and I also think it's a really deep question as we're spiritually walking. In the spiritual journey, how do I? How do I pray? How do I sit and meditate when I can't sit with myself for 5 minutes sometimes? How do I practice the principles that I have seen in other people that work, that I want? I want that balance and happiness. I want the feeling of well-being. I want compassion and compassion back to me. I want loving, tender kindness. These are the things that I want. So the question is incredibly alive. And when we face uncertainty, at the same time, we have to face the fact that life is filled with uncertainty. So I'm going to give you an example of my life because I think that's the best place. It's the only place I can speak from. We have different experiences. You have your experience, I have mine. Where we share consciousness is that we have a human experience. And so an experience that I can talk about, which I touched on last week for anyone who was there, you may remember, it was around working in a family restaurant for all my life. At 8 years old, I was at the cash register. Okay? My parents taught me how to be a really slick entrepreneur, so I'm very, very grateful to them. But they were very unskilled. Did anyone else have unskilled folks in their lives? They loved me, I loved them, but they definitely, they taught what they knew. And learning how to be different was a real lifetime journey for me. So I left unannounced because I just couldn't be who I was in the situation in which I was living. Faith. I was scared to death. How do I make a living? How do I raise these 2 kids? How do I pay my mortgage? How? I had already entered into this Science of Mind movement. That was in 1989. And so I already had a basic idea of the principles that we practice. But then it was like rubber hit the road, right? I couldn't just sit there and say, I practice this new thought philosophy and then watch my life just disintegrate. So I really started to do practice from reading, going to used bookstores, really opening my mind to a different way of thinking. I ended up getting a very, it's interesting too. You know, at that time, we were in a little office, my mom and I, and we would do most of the administrative things. And behind one of the mirrors, I remember one day I wrote, bachelor's degree. And so when I left, I kept remembering that mirror, and behind the mirror, that word that was spoken, that was the word of God in me living. Because look where I am now. I'm a minister, and to be a minister, you have to have a graduate degree in theology. Did I know then? Was I uncertain? Was I confused? Absolutely. And I'm sure that you have experiences in your life where you felt that way too. Then I ended up working for Catholic Charities. I know. But it was wonderful. I met a lady by the name of Karen, and she ran an organization called Harvest for the Hungry. She herself was homeless one day before, came out of homelessness, came from a very wealthy family, and her father said, I don't want you to be homeless anymore. What can I do? And she said, help me build this foundation. I think I can help people. He helped her build it. Catholic Charities gave her space to do her work. And here I went, helping people, homeless people, unsheltered folks, learning how to be entrepreneurs. How? By going to shop owners and not depending on the city tax dollars to pay, but going to store owners and saying, do you need your windows cleaned? How about we power wash that front sidewalk in front of your shop? Pick up the trash for you. We scrap together enough to buy a van. That van would be the place we would meet at the church, get in that van and go to all the store shops and do these basic services, which turned around and gave not money, but different vouchers and different ways to help those individuals that we were helping. I sat in a conversation with Karen and have you had that conversation? Where somebody sees you beyond what you can see for yourself? And she said, I can never, ever repay you. I don't have much, but I can tell you don't belong here. There is a world waiting for you, and I believe that there's something calling you that's bigger. She took a $50 bill and slid it across the table. And she said, take this $50 bill and do with it as you please. I went home to my spouse, Patty, the same spouse, not the one that I had another 25 years before. Little inside joke here. Went home to my spouse, Patty, and she went to Target and got a little frame. And instead of putting it with $50 that's so spectacular, she turned it around and framed it. And it said, in God, we trust. And it was my first step into the abyss of faith that has resulted, now that I'm able to look back, has resulted in so many accumulations of different experiences that brought me to this very stage that I stand on today. And that's the kind of faith that is not specific to me. And this is where I think spirit is limited in our minds, because it is equally distributed. The power, the presence, the love, the compassion, the freedom, the abundance is equally distributed throughout the universe. And there's certain practices and principles that we can begin to use to literally grab from the conscious, unformed, and bring into form all of our desires, all of our dreams, and all of the life that we feel we are prepared to embrace. Because half of it is embracing, isn't it? I could not have been open to what Karen had said to me until I was open to Spirit. And so I'd like to kind of touch on the couple of things around this that is so important, because when we're going through uncertain times, they are frightening. And when we're going through them, we think that we're the only one experiencing it. But we all have moments. Sometimes seasons, like I talked about a few weeks ago, seasons that last longer than we had anticipated. And yet, all of the traditions bring us to this idea around faith. In every tradition, it doesn't matter if you're Muslim or Sufi, or if you're come from Judaism or Christianity or Hinduism, Buddhism, all have this idea of faith in an interesting form, a form that isn't faith as a activity, faith as a openness to what is. Faith that the human expression is always forever expanding, always forever. Suffering can be part of life, but always and forever there's a place within us that is still, that knows, that can be in the quiet, that it can feel supported. And so faith is a state of mind, and it develops by conditioning our mind to receive infinite intelligence. Sounds easier than it is, huh? But what I want to say is the Upanishads tell us that it's the resting ground of faith. Where? In our hearts. That's where we can rest in faith, is in our hearts. And that our hearts, when they're open to the infinite, open to intuition. And intuition can look at the uncharted territories of our lives, the places that have gone unfulfilled or plans have gone awry, and it can actually, through conscious conditioning of the mind, opening to receptivity to the infinite one, we can have peace and parcel to that divine intelligence that's working through each of us. And it's a pretty spectacular thing. Then there comes the application, right? How do I? How do I? And you have probably your own how do I question in your mind right now. And it's yours. And there's something that is ready to respond to it. So as we're closing, I'd like to leave us today. I know I left us with more questions than I did answers, but that's the fun part of being a minister. So let's try this, okay? Let's go ahead and have I'll do a prayer after. We'll do a little process. Let's close our eyes. And how do I is the question. And your statement of how do I is your very own. It doesn't belong to anyone else. You might share it with other people in humanity that are experiencing the same thing, and it is personal. How do I? And in being open to how do I, with the situation, experience, or event that you are really seeking a response from the universe about, ask for guidance. Yes. Allow that faith inside of you to change your hearts, to be open to all the possibilities. And as we move through this, how do I'm going to begin in our prayer, and there's a part in the prayer where we claim. And if you would like to either speak it in silence or speak it to the room, I will indicate we are in the claiming part of the prayer, and then I'll bring us to close. So just keeping in that inquiry, the curiosity, knowing that there is something so magnificent that is always responding, that infinite intelligence, that love intelligence that moves through all things. It's in me, and it's in each and every one of us here and everywhere. Our live stream and beyond. It has no limitation. It's equally distributed amongst all of the universe. And the how do I, the question that's in your heart, I know right now, how do I continue to be open to spirit through belief? How do I, whatever yours is, speak it now in your mind? And what I know is that there is a ever-flowing, just pressing down and overflowing abundance of information that comes that's so precise and so clear, so spot on, that faith is built. Because that we are actually asking for is responded to. Knock and I shall be there. Ask and you shall receive. It is done unto you as you believe. We believe in abundance and beauty and love, in freedom and wholeness and all that is good. And right here, right now, I know it is spreading out, not only in this community individually, but out as it ripples out into the greater world. And this is what I know. We are an activity of spirit, walking on this planet together as one. I'm so grateful, and in gratitude, I simply ask you to say with me now, and so it is. Thank you. I'm going to ask the ushers to come up now. Thank you so much for all the giving you do for this community in so many ways that it's remarkable how loving and giving this community is, not only financially, but in so many ways. You see the grounds, the property, the sanctuary, everything here is done in love.
Join along if you want. You know this one. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for all you give to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you give to me. Well, I just want to thank you. One more time. I just want to thank you for all you give to me. Well, I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. Your love has set me free. Your love has set me free.
Okay, well, here we go, guys, gals, everybody. We are talking about announcements, so I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. Thing I want you most to know about is Awakening the Soul is coming up. It's this upcoming weekend, April 7th and 8th, Friday and Saturday. It's going to be wonderful. Andrea and I have been working in meditation and visioning and really putting a program together that I think is going to give participants a real direct experience of the divine, a connection through music, food, drumming, sound bowl, a forest walk, forest bathing walk. I think it's just going to be a culmination of all kinds of different traditions coming together in that wholeness, and I invite you to participate. Our deadline is tomorrow which is Monday, April 3rd. And if you're interested, there's the Ask Me desk in the back of the room that can give you more detailed information, or you can visit cslbellingham.org for any information from all the announcements I'll be continuing with. I want to touch on one of the really great things we do here is Gourmets for Good. How many hosts are in this room that have hosted in the past? Yeah, it's a great, wonderful thing. You're going to have a sign-up form that you can partake in putting together a Gourmet for Good event/dinner experience. And so a host takes an idea and puts together we've had all kinds of stuff. We've had, clam what was the one with the clam fritters? Clam fritters. No, and why I'm laughing is because they actually have a who has the world record for the clam fritters event. Who has the world record? Well, Patty, my spouse, holds that record still. Okay, she's only done it once, but you know what I mean. So I'm inviting you, if you'd like to be a host, to come up with an event, a dinner experience, something unusual that you would like to bring to the community. And you have a form you can fill out both online and get more information at the Ask Me desk about the number of guests and choice of presenting what your meal will be, and doors are out. So there's a list of different things to kind of help you hone in your creative idea. The next thing I want to mention to you is next Sunday is Easter, and it's my favorite holiday. Why? Because it's really about the resurrection, right? But I don't mean that in a symbolic way. It's really about kind of coming back out. And I think this coming back out, well, I did that too. I did come out, didn't I? Thank God, it only had to happen once. So coming back out in the sense of, we've been through this whole epidemic, this kind of shutdown, lockdown, and not that last year it was a sampling, right? But here's this dew, and we want to do a ceremony. It's a tradition here at the center around blossoming, and really blossoming and growing and expanding and letting ourselves welcome the summer that's to come, which I know I've been mentioning this a lot, so I need sun. So this is next Sunday, April 9th at 10:30 a.m. Diversity and Inclusion Book Study, we are starting right here with one of our licensed practitioners, Francine Kitchen, and she is going to be hosting this starting April 17th, and the book is My Grandmother's Hands by Resman Manakim. And I think it's a really great idea if you want to delve deeper into inclusivity and diversity. It's one of our key core values that we share here at the center. And we're really, opening our minds to be more diverse and opening our minds to the different aspects of diversity. And this book can help us do that together. I'd like to ask Kat to come up for our teen fundraiser. She's going to tell you a little bit about it. Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kat. I am the lead advisor for the teen group here at CSL Bellingham, and we are doing an exciting fundraiser. Our teens have planned, and we actually tested it a little bit yesterday. It's been amazingly fun to do. And on Saturday, April 22nd, we are going to be hosting here in the classroom an escape room. So it is a fundraiser for our teens to go to camp this summer, as we do have to register in May. We're trying to raise enough money to get everybody to go to camp. And so we're going to be doing 6 sessions, so 6 teams, each team of 6 people. And you can sign up individually. You can get a group together and all sign up for a session. The minimum for a spot on a team is $25. We will accept more than that because it is a fundraiser, but we're signing up. We've got a list at the back. It is going to be 6 sessions that day, And so if you want to sign up for a session, it's going to be around an hour. You'll have 45 minutes to escape, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Our teens are going to be in there with you to make sure that you get the lock right and they can let you out. So if you're interested in trying it out, we've got some fun puzzles to try. And again, this is all going to the teens to be able to go to camp. So if you have any questions, I'll be here to answer them at the back. But please don't ask me for the answers to the puzzles, because you're not going to get those.
Thank you. Thank you, Kat. Thank you so much. And I want to really acknowledge Kat. They have really worked in consciousness and activity to start to really blossom our teen program with a really deep connection. They've gone to camp with their son Jason and really tried to create a connection between the CSL bigger organization and our CSL Bellingham to begin to look at the next generation of youth who will be introduced to our philosophy. So thank you. We want to acknowledge you. Men's group meets Sunday, April 9th, and our fearless leader is one of our practitioners there, Philip Flores. See him or go to the Ask Me desk for more information. It's both an integrated offering, so Zoom and in person, and it's for all men who are looking to really develop a deeper consciousness and activity of spirit together in a group setting. Very well attended and a beautiful opportunity to meet other men who are in our center. Let's see, women's group, we will be meeting April 16th, noon to 1:30 in the sanctuary. It's gotten so big that it's in the sanctuary. You can see Andrea Wood, if you have any questions about the women's group and what they do there. It's a really great place to come. They do a lot of different activities and processes. Food Bake Drive, entire month of April, so one full month, one extra can to help lend a hand is sort of the theme for this. And we're going to be providing food for our local food bank. The collection container is in the back of the room, I believe. Yep, it's already there. So if you'd like, through the month of April, please, if you can, begin to bring items like peanut butter, canned soup, canned fruit, canned vegetables, canned stews, canned beans, pasta, gluten-free and whole grain, rice, brown rice, and we really want to thank you so much. It's one of the outreaches that we do. Social engagement is super important to Centers for Spiritual Living. Sunday morning meditation starts, so Sunday morning, 10 a.m., back room. Please do attend. It's great. It's facilitated by one of our practitioners, and it is going to be there every Sunday going forward. And put this in your calendar, save the date, July 22nd. The Mind, Body, Spirit Fair is happening again. It's been on hiatus for about 3 years, so we are back, and I am here to tell you we already have more than half of the available vendor slots already filled. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event coming back, bringing health practitioners in all kinds of varieties, from Reiki to chiropractic to masseuse Tabor. They're going to have ukulele and children's music camp down at the bottom of the meadow, the lower meadow. So it's really going to be an engaging, fun time. July 22nd, hold it in your calendar. Okay, that's about all I have. And we have some music to bring us out.
Yeah,
Great.
let's all sing Power of Love. Can we stand
Right.
up, please?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. My heart is open by Spirit and by grace. We are the power of love. We are the, let's do it from the top one more time. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open by spirit and by grace. We are the power of love. We are the power of love. Two more. We are the power of love. Last time. We are the power of love.
Fantastic. I also want to invite everybody for a little bit of fellowship after service. We're actually starting our coffee, cookie, and social